I asked Joe why. I don't think that the doctors, if something might be the case, like my mother's 76 years old and schizophrenic. If she's about to have two major tests, an MRCT and an ERCP that remember that was it was no, nothing was cleared, and she's terrified. Why the fuck are you gonna tell someone when they need to keep up their morale for these tests and whatnot that they might have cancer? Why are you gonna do that? You know what Joe said? He said doctors are trained to do that. Because I'm like, what is the point? You tell the person if they actually do have cancer once it's diagnosed, what the hell is the point of saying you might have cancer? She left me messages yesterday. Saying she wanted to get out of there, you know, just like a little girl, and she can't get out of there. Then I'm trying to get there. I spent all day getting there and getting back, and I'm so exhausted. Um, they had told me the day before that she was gonna. They had told me yesterday she was gonna have an MRI. And now they decided that they're the same the that ERCP, they're gonna have that. I couldn't have been with Joe. If she does have cancer, I told you what Joe and I would do if we had cancer. We would never go the traditional route, ever. My mother should be able to make that same kind of decision. But here she'll be pushed. Maybe if she's told that, maybe it'll push her over the edge that fuck, wait into the spring, we'll sell this place if we can. The world doesn't blow up. Joe doesn't care. second her doctor had us on speaker. The second her doctor had us on speaker and was saying that, the second he said the blood work showed elevated liver enzymes, warning alarm bells went off in me. But then when he said the mass was showing on the CAT scan, I could see the writing on the wall. I wasn't even a visitor. I knew that. I'm trying to get through. I had this frantic message. She made me think she was getting that thing today, and I'm like you just told me yesterday it was an MRI. Are you gonna give her ERCP and not even talk to me first? I just had to get paperwork there. I knew I couldn't visit her. I'm an idiot. I'm not trying to visit her. But she kept trying to call me, and I had to, like I said, when you're dealing with buses that you're gonna miss, and then you're gonna have to, try to scramble to spend a lot of money on a taxi. I was in the bathroom talking to the damn doctor, and I was like, I've got to miss my fucking bus. Meanwhile, my mom kept trying to reach me. I can't talk to her on the bus. I'm not going to talk to her on the bus anyway. I'm not going to talk private shit. But I was with Joe, because if this happened to my mom and I was with Joe, I would come right back in 2 seconds flat. I wish we were with Joe. He's telling me a funny story, just 'cause, he's like, we're talking about this, and it's so, and you're crying, and he wanted to tell me the funny story that the deer in his yard are trusting him now, and like they don't run away, they know his scent, and they love chestnuts. So just telling me that the deer it's a treat for them, and they're going fucking crazy over the chestnuts in his yard. So they don't even leave. Like they'll let him watch them. He's gotta take pictures for me. He took some blurry picture last week. He's like, we kind of make out the deer. I'm like, you need to take better pictures than that. I would like to see a bunch of deer eating the chestnuts. I never get to talk to my mother because, again, I'm trying to give paperwork to medical records, and the doctor's trying to reach me again. I only have limited time before I actually, as I couldn't get up this morning. But I was in shock when my mom was crying. I mean, in the morning, she called me early in the morning and just crying and wanted to get out of there. And of course, she can't get out of there. I didn't even get to tell her that I loved her because she. Vitacost isn't getting back to me. I said, please, they returned the money finally. Like I said, it took threatening them. I'm not saying anyone's doing malicious. They're just not taking it seriously. When I said, I'm pretending to be my mom, don't force me to have to report this to my bank. You'll lose. Nobody's going to do 3 identical back-to-back orders within a few minutes of each other rather than do one big order. Obviously, and your website was messing up. The fact is, I have a right, even if I would have a right to return everything anyway. It's just we needed the money back before having to be forced to return everything. And they can still have it all back. I don't think they're going to want it back, like I said. Whatever. Anyway, I kept trying to reach my mom and called her, didn't reach her. I don't know why she wasn't answering her phone. It just, everything's hectic. Everything, you try to reach someone in a hospital and maybe the phone's broken. I mean, maybe the phone's not ringing. My mom is calling me, but I can't be answering the phone when I'm on the bus. I wouldn't want to anyway. I don't want to talk private shit. Bad enough that I did say I needed to. They want to leaving me on hold and never coming back. Well, I thought my mom was gonna get that thing like right then because she sounded like she was. She was like, you don't know if it's cancer, Laura. It could be parasites. Yeah, but they're not gonna. I'm dealing with this whole. That's what I said to Joey. Like, well, you have me over the phone. It's not the same thing. It's never the same thing. said, if you're new to my channel, you don't know it, but I've spent decades saying, why are we here? What I really mean is, why am I here? Most people don't feel this way. Most people aren't killed by every little fucking thing in this existence. And I know that for a fact. I've talked to enough people in this life or whatever to know that. I've been eating too much. Mostly organic stuff, but still get fat on organic stuff. It's just not as bad for you as, like, high fructose corn syrup or, I actually bought they're called Nature's Path um, waffles, pumpkin. They're organic pumpkin waffles. Again, just because they're organic doesn't mean they're good for you. I just want to stress that. Um, it was a binge, and it was delicious, and it was worth every calorie. Um, I had the waffles with syrup and butter, but I also had bought this So Delicious chocolate truffle ice cream, and I put that on the waffle, and it reminded me of the waffles Sundays. They might still make them, I don't know. When I worked at Friendly's, obviously those were like, really, 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 really bad for you. My version is not so bad. Again, not that it's healthy or anything, but it's not as bad. So I binged on different things, but I didn't eat a damn thing all day long. I actually forgot to even drink water. I forgot to drink water. I bought water and I forgot to drink it. My mother, she's probably thinking, she's not gonna think. All she's gonna think is, you didn't call. I know she's gonna think that. You didn't call me. I tried to call you all. I couldn't reach you. She's not gonna understand that everything was like so rushed. I almost missed my fucking bus coming home. I knew the bus was coming. I didn't know where it was gonna be at the hospital, and I had to just go out to the main road and I keep looking behind my shoulder or something because I didn't want to miss it there. I knew if I know it's going to go down the main road, am I going to try to? I'm in a bathroom. I had the doctors talking to the doctor, trying to go to the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom. I had very little time. I should have gone earlier, but I was exhausted. Yeah, she probably has cancer. And I asked her, I said, you tell my mother that? She goes, well, I try, but she's not really understanding, I don't think. Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. I didn't think at the time, but if she has to have all these tests, isn't it better for her morale to be up than to be, you know what I mean? There could be complications with the damn tests. Not the MRI or MRCT, whatever that is, I don't know. I asked why she had to have both. All these fucking things I was planning on doing when she was supposed to have the ARCP in a couple weeks. You know, when we reschedule, like look up the doctor. I mean, just whatever. Told you my contractor sees, you know, it's one of those fate things where you can have anyone in the world and you get someone that's like you know. Again, he's happily married. I'm not like hitting on him or anything like that. He's just a good guy. Um, but he was telling me about he sees a natural path, a homeopathic doctor, and he's told me about his friend who he referred to this guy, and the friend had something, cancer, whatever, and the naturopath healed him. He healed him. That's what Joe was talking about. Then he's like, your mom probably won't do any of that. I don't know, Joe. It's hard for her. She's got all the people on this side, and then she's got me who believes in all the other stuff, you know? Between you and me, she won't survive. To even get through something like that, you have to have the will. When you've been beaten down in your entire fucking life and had to be on all this fucking psych meds and target just against you that you didn't have before I read the goddamn toxic psychiatry book, but you know, I knew that was coming too. She won't have the will. I told you I wouldn't do it. I would not do that. I watched it play out on a million little things with Maggie, and I watched it play out on other things. I've read books and I've seen movies. I wouldn't do it personally. I told you that I wouldn't do it. I will not. Cancer runs in my family. If I get cancer, I would be going the natural route and take my chances of dying. I will not do chemo and radiation and all that crap. I will never do it. Never. You have to have strength to survive stuff like that. My mom might be done anyway. Like Joe says, even when she will never, she won't be strong enough to survive anything like that. You have to have mental to even want to go through it, you know, even want to. But she's, of course, terrified. Of course she is. She's relentless.